Welcome everybody. Hey Robo, hey Seb. How are you guys doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good, good. Robo,
Yeah, doing great.
cold morning, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
People are rolling in. We just came back home
Mm.
from Cosmoverse. So from all over the world back to their homes. Back in Lisbon, we'll be soon in Buenos Aires for DevCon and Sovereign Day. Very, very excited about that.
I
We
have a
wanted,
question. Am I the only
oh,
one that got sick after Cosmoverse, or did you guys get sick?
My voice is shot right now. So,
I've I stood tall, undefeated by the virus. But because I was sick before that, I think
Okay.
2 weeks back when we went to Digital Asset Summit. So, I was preemptively infected, I guess. But, we're doing fine. It was a great week. Super excited to be here with you folks. We're not expecting anybody else today. Mike and team and the rest are in Japan, so won't be able to join fully. We'll kick off a recap of things that happened at Cosmoverse, a little discussion on those announcements, including a couple of the new builders on the chain, and then looking in front a little bit into the future, not too far off into the future, literally week and a half into DevCon Buenos Aires, Argentina, one of our biggest events as well, organizing with Cosmos Lab and Interop, presenting a lot of all things new in Cosmos to the broader Web3 and local government community. Very, very excited for that. You guys ready to kick it off?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Yeah. So we wanted to just do a little bit of a look back, just take a minute to recall everything we've shared during Cosmoverse. Again, it was super nice to see everybody there, many of the validators as well, some of which I see already in the chat for the stream, like pro delegators showing up and chatting with us live on everything coming to Cosmos across the market, the stack, and Atom. So let's take a quick recap or look at that recap. First, we had Mag. If you don't see that or haven't seen the presentation yet, it's on an article on X or on YouTube. We had Mag presenting how the market is shifting for Cosmos. The TLDR here is the world is coming on chain and it's being powered by Cosmos. We've seen banks, Fortune 500s, governments, fintechs now building on crypto, many of which we haven't seen or hoped to see before, and many Web3 companies like Ripple, Polygon, Chronos, Binance, Hyperliquid now building with them and coexisting like private and public networks. These new massive businesses and institutions are choosing sovereign infrastructure over general twos, stacks, or journalistic ones. And for many reasons, they need the autonomy and the sovereignty for compliance. They need the autonomy and sovereignty to build something that they can really configure to their needs and use it as a gateway to access the rest of Web3, in our case, through IBC. And while they're at it, they're choosing Cosmos as its stack. We've talked about 2 CBDCs in Latin America being built with the Cosmos stack, more chains in gaming and finance coming as well, as long as together with all the other newcomers we saw in Cosmos this 2025, like Figure with its massive IPO and building on top of Hilo clones in the US, or Ondo Finance building with BlackRock and Goldman Sachs, and new global tokenization layer. It's been super, super exciting to see this shift and this acceleration of enterprises and businesses just deciding to go sovereign and build their own blockchain. And I kept one of the notes from Max talk here, which is like, we have this crazy vision for the future of like a multitude of blockchains, Web3, non-Web3, enterprise, public, private coexisting. And we are seeing this develop today and just become a reality. There's 200 plus chains interconnected by IBC today, live in production, hundreds more that are either consortium chains, banks in the EU, UK, America that are running on Cosmos. And this thing that, back in 2018, 19, where there were like 2 or 3 chains lying around, seems a little bit crazy. It's panning out, and we see it reflected in other ecosystems in Web3 as well. So it was super exciting kickoff for what Cosmoverse was. And then we talked a little bit about like, how does this really reflect on the stack? How are we building the stack to bring the world of global finance on chain? On the comment and performance side, the roadmap to 10K TPS and beyond, you probably see a beautiful chart that gets up to 50. On the connectivity roadmap, Solana and connectivity to L2s coming up soon, already in latest stage of development. We're now building and demoing finance-specific features on top of the stack, like tokenization, escrow, KYC, so that all these institutions and businesses building on Cosmos have them ready to go. We've been building many of those with all of these tier 1 customers we've been working with, so it's just fitted to the needs that they've been sharing with us. And we're not stopping there. We know that still building chains is complicated. It's a hard process, both from the infrastructure perspective, the setup, and also just the general maintenance, all the services you need, relayers, attesters, oracles. We're building a platform, a blockchain fleet management platform, where it's not blockchain as a service. It's a platform where you can, yes, deploy your blockchain itself, but then say, okay, I need to set up my different validator configurations, whether that's fully public, fully permissionless, a mix of private and public validators, POA, POS, and maintain that and be able to monitor and add services to your chain. And we're going to be integrating services from the hub and the ecosystem and its validators to this platform. We're super excited about that. We had a lot of conversations with validators on the ground already about this platform. So if you haven't chatted with us already, reach out. We're going to be doing the first demos of this platform and working with a couple of service providers as well to start integrating. Last but not least, Atom and Cosmos Hub. They're both becoming part of this future. We're doing a couple things here to start integrating Atom into this vision. The Hub unit, a unit that has been running for a couple of months now, is getting stronger with Robo here. Now, underneath me, right, like usually in Zoom, you never know who is who and where is everybody, but you're definitely here in the stream. Now part of the ecosystem team at the Cosmos Hub, working side by side with Haifa, who's also now working directly on the tech roadmap of the Cosmos Hub. So getting things like the token factory deployed, and then adding all the Comet BFT performance enhancements that we've been working on. It's just a little bit of what's starting to kick off at the hub, both at the technical and ecosystem side. Robo, you want to take it away with the other things going on in the hub?
Yeah. So at Cosmoverse, we also announced that there will be a new delegation program from the ICF, sort of aimed at kind of speeding up performance and helping improve Gov participation on the hub. The primary reason that we're doing this is we see a lot of what the hub's future to be is acting as sort of a service provider of high quality primitives for some of these institutional customers that we're working with. And we need to drastically improve performance in order to make that possible. So on one side, the technical side, Haifa is going to be helping add a lot of these performance enhancements directly to the chain. And then on the other side of this is we will allocate delegations toward validators that are more performant, more participatory, et cetera, et cetera. And then I think most importantly, what most people are excited about is that we're kicking off an entirely separate tokenomics design and research workstream to help kind of bring all of these new demand levers that we see working with these customers and integrate them into a new tokenomic model for Atom. So we just, to start kicking this process off, we just launched a new Telegram group for tokenomics working group. There's a little QR code in the bottom right corner of your screen here that you can scan to get an invite to that group. Also, feel free to reach out to me, and I'd be happy to add you myself at RoboMagobo on Telegram and also on Twitter.
Amazing. It's been 24 hours. I think the group has been live. There's been a lot of amazing discussions on everything, all things from like demand and supply, the configuration of inflation, how could we rethink the different levers integrated into Atom at the product hub ecosystem level, what are things that validators care for the most. So when we said and Cosmoverse reach out, it was because we wanted to really make this process inclusive in the public and make sure that we consider everything that everybody's thinking about Atom as we make the RFP that we work with different research partners. We'll do that in public as well. Again, the steps that we're going through is getting all the input from the community. We also have opinions, we're sharing them in the chat as well, but we want to make sure that we consider every angle here as we look at the other products we're integrating. Get an RFP, that's like a request for a proposal on the research on the tokenomics so that we can simulate the scenarios and say like, okay, if it's going to be revenue driven, what do we need to change here and here? How would it look like? How much has to come in? How much has to come out so that it is sustainable? And we're going to simulate a couple scenarios and then make a final proposal for governance. We're super excited. And we're very excited that everybody jumped into the chat. There's like 100 people right now. Yeah. And it has been actually super productive conversation in just a day. So we figured that this is going to move along quite nicely. You'll see more and hear more of this in the coming days. Robo is preparing a blog and breakdown for both X and the forum, where we're going to outline how is the process going to look like, the next steps and milestones we're going to work towards, and the first round of requests for the research. Very, very, very excited about it. So Devconnect is going to have like a double benefit for us. It's both us going out there and telling Cosmos new story and vision, and then getting probably the first feedback rounds done for the tokenomics. Super exciting.
Yeah, I just want to add, it's been very promising to see how engaged everyone's been in the tokenomics working group. The people showed up in a really big way, and it's very bullish vibes in there right now. So if you want to be part of this, I would definitely recommend joining. It's great to see how passionate everyone is about this.
I have a question about that working group, guys. Like, what are the most kind of crazy ideas you've seen pop up in that tokenomics working group that kind of bring pause and might actually be interesting to implement?
Crazy ideas, Ro. I'll let you take that one.
What are the most out there ones? Yeah.
The most sorry.
The most out there ideas, like that.
Somebody said we should convert Atom to a zkL2, to the Cosmos Hub to a zkL2, and take the zk sync model, which I thought was interesting. But I think really there are some really cool ideas in there, like reworking staking rewards to favor long-term stakers. I think is super interesting. There's been a lot of discussion about cutting the size of the validator set, which originally I thought would be something that would be a little polemic. But we've seen actually people on many sides of the aisle kind of talking about different ways that could be helpful.
So we had comments from Mag as well, like what if we halve the inflation yearly or every 6 months as a procedural process? Again, these are all brainstorming as we get to the RFP, mostly because we want to simulate those scenarios. It's not about A or B or C. So even if it's the craziest idea, as you say, Seb, if we can take it, simulate it, and see actually this wouldn't be quite a healthy transition, right? Like it would kill rewards instantly, so it's not super exciting. Now's the moment to do all those experiments.
Yeah. It's a super exciting time.
You want to take it away, Seb? If you have
sure. I mean, you guys have shared quite a bit, I think of the direction here. But yeah, I mean, other things that you're excited about that was announced at Cosmoverse that maybe weren't already mentioned earlier?
I think of all things that we've been excited about, of course, we mentioned the national currency is being built on Cosmos by different governments on chain by central banks. That's super exciting. I'm very, 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 very excited about the IBC roadmap as well, with Solana and the L2s coming up. Not only because these institutions and partners have been asking a lot and loving the idea of neutral interoperability, but actually because it's creating a new market, let's say, or a new microeconomy in Cosmos. We've had relayers for a while as well, and IBCV2 is now using attestation and attesters. So it's a new market that's going to appear for people offering services or validator services to provide attestation for all of these chains. So I'm super excited about that. Not sure, Rubo, which one is your highlight?
I just really appreciated how much the whole validator set showed up. Got to have a lot of really good meetings with the validators to go over a lot of the delegation program stuff, and I think it's a lot better to just have those conversations in person and get to chat with folks.
Yeah, that was amazing.
One of the things that kind of came up quite a bit at Cosmoverse and had an opportunity to chat with a few folks about is, there's this new direction, I think, that's squarely focused on bringing institutions and large applications on chain. And I'm pretty confident you guys are going to be announcing some of that in Argentina, and there's more announcements that we should expect in the coming months. But for long-term kind of community members in Cosmos, validators, atom holders, and users of the Cosmos ecosystem, right? Of the many chains in Cosmos, it might be unclear like what they can do to participate, how they can be a part of this new vision. And so I wonder, what's your call to action for people who have been in the space for a while, who are like on CT, like bull posting Atom, or actually building stuff, like maybe developers, or like building in Cosmwasm, or validators, token holders. What can people do to be a part of this new vision? And I think the question on everyone's mind is like benefit, financially or in any way from this new direction.
Rebel,
Yes.
I take builders, you take community.
Yeah, that sounds good. Why don't you?
Wait, aren't these the same? These are the same picture.
Not all. All builders are part of the community. No, not all members of the community are built. Well, maybe. No, actually, you're right. You got me there. That's a great point. From the developers' perspective, let's say, or the apps,
yeah.
I can take that. You did get me there, yeah. So it's just rethinking, like, it's not that applications are not needed, it's not that services are not needed. So let me start at like the protocol level, right? Protocol builders, protocols that are exciting these days. If Cosmos is still the place where you can build several blockchains, that is not going to stop happening, right? Like innovative use cases, deep in rising in Cosmos. But if I were to say like where's the hottest opportunity right now, we see these projects that populate the same market as these institutions and businesses and can sort of work together, right? Let's look at Injective, right? Injective is building commodities like stocks on chain and an FX market for that. And now they're working hand in hand with banks and other institutions, giving them access to those primitives. Because again, we hear a lot of like, a business coming on chain, like they're not really going to work in Web3. The first thing they tell us is like, well, I'm tokenizing my bank. Now I can IBC some interesting assets from other protocols for my users, right? And they're like excited about it, right? So the Undos, the Injectives, Nobles, Figures, all these DeFi builders and creators, they do have an opportunity there. Nolus, those are things that are still wanted around the ecosystem. A lot of stablecoin infrastructure is needed, like for faster onboarding, on and off ramping. We do need seamless payments with stablecoins. There's so much you can explore and build there that will have so much synergy with everything else. Robo, maybe from the purely community perspective.
Yeah. So we're putting together a number of working groups. Again, the tokenomics working group, I think, is a great place if you want to give your pitch on tokenomics. But even more important than that, I see a lot of energy right now in the community about like, hey, how do I talk about this vision? How do I, all of these updates that have come out recently, how do I get involved in that and talking about that? And I think my biggest call to action here for the community is take some of these notes and updates that we've been giving you and put something together, right? Write content, reach out to me. I'm happy to take a look at anything that you're putting together, give advice, notes, context, anything that you need. We're also putting together a group of content creators and ambassadors to kind of do this in a more targeted way. So again, reach out to me there. Would love to chat with people that want to get involved and write content about this new direction, but feel lost or don't know where to start. Another big call out is if you're a validator. We've seen a lot of great community feedback on the new, tokenomics ideas and things like that. Would love to get more concrete feedback from validators as well. So we're going to be putting together a validator Telegram group to help coordinate that and chat through that as well.
Yeah, and if
Yeah,
you
you
allow
guys.
me one last bite, if it's not on those use cases that I mentioned, some areas that we're going to be working a lot together with the community to push forward, privacy, confidentiality, again, stable coins, things that are, let's say, pre-PMF in crypto now, like being explored, like the crazy ideas of today that will become, the tokenization and payments of the future as use cases. Those things we really want to work and build into the hub, build into the stack, build into new applications in the ecosystem. They haven't been cracked. They haven't been solved. We've seen consolidation, let's say, in other areas like finance, but there's so much that we still want to push in Cosmos that fits this world.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like one question I had, it'd be great to get your perspective on this is, Cosmos has historically been a very like retail focused ecosystem where there has been a lot of applications that have been like focused on, retail holders. I mean, there's institutions hold Atom and Osmo and Celestia, et cetera. And with this new direction, there's like from Cosmos Slack's perspective, there's like a big push towards institutions, and rightfully so. These players have money, and they kind of push forward this idea that of sovereignty and sort of like spearhead the use of the stack. Is there still a place in Cosmos for consumer applications to thrive, and can those thrive alongside these big sort of like more institutional enterprise applications? And what's your vision there? How do you see that playing out?
Yeah, I think nothing changes there. The difference is what primitives you have to build around with, right? Like we see Polaris and Osmosis now building a lot of privacy-focused products. Those are key. Like the public and private world in a world have to coexist. So whether you move around and come in and go, to your bank account, let's say, and put some Atom in there and then come out and then use it on nodeless and everywhere, that interaction has to continue to exist. And it's part actually of why both sides of the market are excited about Web3, right? It's not just about the big businesses coming in and it's like, oh, the big bucks, but it's actually because they do bring a lot of new users into this world, and they do see it as a gateway of like, okay, finally I can offer my users new things that are interesting that I cannot do in my hyper-regulated entity and institution. And so we should see an influx of a lot more users getting more familiar and accustomed to using other Web3 applications, and Web3 apps have to sort of adapt and say like, okay, how do I actually welcome all those Web2 users that we think we're, ready to get, but the experience is still years behind from like what people expect out there. So there's so much room to grow. You should think of it as access points, right? Like what was Coinbase's greatest win for Web3 or Base even, is they created like a massive access point of users from an institutional product into Web3. Why couldn't that be different with all of this coming to Cosmos now, right? So that's super exciting for me to the world of applications, building distribution through places where they already have a ton of distribution, right? It doesn't have to be a silo.
Sorry, I thought
you
were going to add something. And so, yeah, from the perspective of the team, like you guys mentioned at Cosmoverse that there was like a new hub team that's now like dedicated to grow the hub. I mean, there have been hub teams before, right? Like informal, and how is this different? And what is kind of like that team's focus moving forward? And are there any kind of like clear things that people can expect in the hub? I mean, I know a lot of things are still like kind of TBD, to be validated, and people should expect the hub to kind of show this new direction in some time. But like, is there any alpha that you can drop here? Is basically my question.
Yeah, so I think I would say the big difference with this team versus previous teams is we want to, A, focus on the technical side, which I think is nothing, nothing new. But really, we have a major focus now on building community and making sure that the primitives that do get launched derive direct value or drive direct utility back to Atom, right? So Atom's always been kind of a core component of our mandate. And the new direction that the stack and the broader ecosystem is taking towards institution and enterprises has a lot of utility drivers for Atom, right? We've kind of touched on a couple of those here, but like, on-chain and off-chain service fees, things like Atom as Atom applications as offering these specific services to some of these customers. And I like really the focus is making sure that the hub is optimized to handle that in a way that makes Atom one of the powerhouse things that powers this entire ecosystem. I think a really great example that came out very timely was ZK Sync recently announced they're doing something very similar to this, pivoting to this kind of service model for the ZK token. I do expect this to become the standard for applications and products that service enterprises, just because the pool of capital and the pool of value there is so huge that really this will drive, I think, massive utility to any project that's able to capitalize on that new influx.
And a little bit to add, Robon, like how things have been changing in terms of the team. It's, if we look back, regardless of the multiple teams and more looking a little bit into the future, it's the first time we have an integrated team directly embedded into labs on the foundation. Even when other teams existed, they usually existed either as like third-party teams or like a steward separated from all the other elements of the stack and the foundation. It's the first time it's fully embedded, fully aligned with the vision, and we are fully dedicated to integrating across all verticals. So it is, let's say, like the plan is aligned to be able to have a team that has full focus into working backwards from the same roadmap that the stack is working backwards from, that the team is working backwards from, and that the ecosystem is working backwards from. And for us, the first step is taking that roadmap, looking at tokenomics, saying, okay, how do we build the best foundations? That's the first step. And from there, anything we build on top of that, product after product, as we talked, the AVM service chains, the services on the hub, are just like steps that we follow after and after with an intentional tokenomics model built from the get-go. A lot of what we want to do is, it's super important to take that first step, sit down for a minute, and make it happen. And from there, boost ecosystem growth, boost the technical roadmap to start integrating those services and those functionalities that Robo has talked about. And just be fully aligned. We're very, very excited that it's the first time for that to happen. That has been happening.
Very cool, guys. I'm looking at the chat here, and maybe you guys know this, but like, who's Gwinch, and why is everybody tweeting at this Gwinch person?
One of our favorite community members, I think. He's been on the tokenomics chat, right? So shout out Gench, Stanzi.
Shout out to Gwinch.
Mike from Cybernetics, if I'm not mistaken, CBD as well. Those are some of the folks that also have been popping by to help and have been instrumental in just the back and forth that we get all the time from the community. Respect like Inch, and respect our one and product delegators as well as many of the other validators.
Like Inch.
So on to Sovereign Day, I'd say.
Yes.
We are on the road to. This is a little bit of a new event. We had Sovereign EVM Day in ETCC in France, in Cannes, where we had a couple hundred people join us to hear the latest developments on the Cosmos EVM stack for building layer ones that are EVM. And now we're going bigger and broader in DevCon.
That's right. So Sovereign Day is I mean, it's really coming along, and I want to like shout out to the team, like the Cosmos Labs team, and also to people on my team, Kashia and Lovely, who've been working super hard to make this happen. And it's we're what, 12 days away now. It seems like pretty insane that it's about to happen, but yeah, it's going to be a full day on the 18th. We should probably have the Luma link somewhere so people can sign up. I don't know if we can put a QR code or something.
The last slide.
Yeah.
So we themed it out in all things sovereignty. So we said the world is changing, everything is moving on chain, finance, identity, payments. So we did want to go to Buenos Aires, capital of Latin American sovereignty, to showcase what a sovereign stack and an ecosystem of blockchains looks like, and meet with other protocols and other builders there, as well as institutions. This is my regional home for some that know out there. So I'll have to act as the Cosmos tour guide for anybody there. QXinc on Twitter, and I'll give you the actual good grills out there and not the ones that will rip your head off. It will be streamed as an event. It's going to be an all-day event in Malus Costanera. We're going to have many speakers from, and many more than here are shown, like Pacific Meta, Token, Injected, Lombard, Ondo, McKinsey, Local Gov, a couple banking entities from LATAM, and some of the other projects building also national currencies for CBDCs. We're going to have 2 shows lives, 2 Argentinian shows actually, which I'm excited for, from Tango Ayala and Malevo, doing like a national, like more traditional dances with a little twist. And you want to tell us a little bit of the venue, Seb?
Yeah, so the venue is this place called Malloy's. It's this like really beautiful restaurant venue that has a large terrace and outdoor space. It's pretty huge. I think there's capacity in there for something like 500 people comfortably. So do sign up on Luma. There's still capacity. But
we're almost at 500 now.
Yeah. But I think things are going to start filling up pretty quick over the next couple of weeks, or at least the next week and a half. I think like we have a really cool program that not only, in terms of the speakers and folks that will be there, but also in terms of entertainment, because we're in Latin America. We had to get a little bit of the local flavor. So we're going to have some sort of local entertainment, local artists doing some local dancing,
local
alfajores, also some local food. So it'll be a first for me too, because I've never been to Latin America. I guess I have been to Colombia, but I've never been to like southern Latin America.
Southern as it goes.
Yeah, not Argentina. So yeah, very excited. And then we'll also have like a cocktail at the end of the day. So it's really, come early, stay for the day, stay and hang out with your Cosmos homies, and have some drinks later in the evening.
Yeah,
and I think there'll be a lot of announcements too. A lot of really great alpha coming out of that event.
We're gonna be joined as well by a couple partners, Jury, former friends now as well, running the podcasts over there with Finality. It's gonna be super exciting. And yeah, sign up. We're gonna see you all soon over there for Folks Are Flying. I know we're gonna be joined already on the ground by a couple cosmonauts. I know Pope from the Nigerian community is gonna be flying over there and giving us a hand as well. As Seb said, it's a beautiful venue next to a river. We're getting like sunny 25 to 30 degrees for the Celsius people, and 80, I think, something Fahrenheit for the other weird systems out there. So it's starting to look like a beautiful week. And you'll see us around not only here, which is going to be fully streamed as a day on X and YouTube as always, but you're also going to be seeing us around in Staking Summit, Regulation Day, and across Devconnect. So folks coming out, you might want to have a chat, pop by the event, pop by Regulation Day, pop by Staking Summit. We'll be there, and super excited to see you all. Nice follow-up as well to Cosmoverse.
Stay
Great.
healthy.
Yeah. Sorry.
Stay healthy at this one. Don't get sick.
Yeah.
And if you do, it's
yeah.
because you've eaten just, so many empanadas and Argentinian pizza with 2 kilos of mozzarella, Otherwise, it's not. Like, I will take no flu people on the event, only if you've been like getting the meat sweats, Otherwise, that's not valid. You gotta work for it.
So calls to action here. Sign up for the event. There's the QR code. Join the tokenomics Telegram group.
Yes.
And join the validator Telegram. I think there's a separate group for the validators as well.
Yeah, we're going to be putting that one together over the next couple of days, and I'll start reaching out to validators to get you added to that one.
And by the way, I just want to point out that it is now easier than ever to set up a Cosmos validator. And in fact, we don't have a Cosmos validator at Interop because the threshold was always sort of just above what we were able to put in with our own capital. But now it's actually very accessible to get in as a validator. And it's also now easier than ever to get a validator set up with Cursor and all the AI tools out there. If you know a little bit about DevOps and coding, you can set up a Cosmos validator and do it, semi-professionally with a little bit of effort. So I'd encourage people to take that challenge.
Same for contracts and Cosmos chains, actually. Even Fetch Coder, now you can get pretty decent configurations for the SDK. It's getting crazy. Folks, See you soon. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be sharing more deets on X and our blog and LinkedIn and everywhere regarding the event. So see whoever comes to Buenos Aires in Buenos Aires. Those that are not, see you in the tokenomics working group. Stay tuned for Robo's post on how the process will be led in the coming weeks. And talk to everybody soon. Thank you for coming.
Come hang out. See ya. Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.